to my actual fact. Are you
Right,
ready?
right. Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
we're ready.
Very-
Ready?
Yeah,
very
what's the fact?
What's the fact?
Hey! Nice. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready. Okay. The oldest sex toy is around 18,000 years old.
Whoa! I can hear some pervert paleontologist going, "Oh, what did they do with this? I bet they used to grind the corn."
This is a round rock.
It's a corn grinder. No, it's not.
Definitely a dildo.
Oh, wow.
There's that famous story of Sandy Toksvig. I don't know if you've heard it. So they discovered like it was a thing. It was very similar. It looked kind of like a sex object. Nobody knew what it was, and it had 28 grooves on it. And they were talking to the class in a Swedish university. And Sandy Toksvig very famously was a student in that class, and she was like, "That's quite clearly a menstrual cycle calendar." Because it's clearly like a woman calculate, and it like blew the professor's mind, and it became this like real thing. So it's that open to interpretation. 18,000 years ago, why not?
I say no
Like,
ways.
you got chimpanzees use sticks to get termites out of their nests and eat them, right? Like, I guarantee you, if a chimpanzee found something that they could get themselves off on, they definitely would. Which means that, basically, we could have been making sex tools, for like 6 million years, right? I mean, have we found one that's 18,000 years old? Maybe it's just like a hole in the ground. Maybe we're thinking about this entirely different here.
That's a terrible
It's
joke.
supposedly a phallus-shaped tool.
Yeah? Yeah.
I mean, a phallus-shaped tool, as you say, could be used to grind corn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could just be enthusiastic.
We'll just
like-
grind.
So quite often, also, like, researchers, they have to try and attract attention to their
I've
research to
discovered
try and
that.
get grants.
Yeah.
So, maybe it was for grinding corn, but they were like, listen, if we tell the media this is some fucking dildo, some ancient stone dildo, we're going to get the grants for days.
We can just stay out in this digs for another month,
That's right.
smoking it up.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. As long
going
as
on
some,
very
as some
well.
like monkey, as long as some monkey woman was banging herself with this like stone dildo, we're in it for life, guys. We may win a Nobel Prize.
So what's your answers?
I say not true.
18,000 is a
Not
very, very long time ago.
I say
That's
not
older
true.
than the pyramids.
Not true. Not true.
So I mean, we found alcohol stuff from. Yeah, why not? To be different. I'm gonna say it's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes. Yes.
Only because it's older than that.
Oh wow!
Wow.
There you go.
She's getting like me now.
Sneaky kind of
Really? So
civilized.
older than 18,000 years?
Quite a few of them were found. Actually, this one specifically I'm speaking of that they believe is the oldest.
Mhm.
They believe to be 28,000 years old. They were founded in a cave in Germany.
so,
Deutschland.
so the Germans have been perverts for back in the
Germans,
day. Like
yeah.
that's their thing.
Of
yeah.
course
So-
it was in a cave in Germany.
Yeah.
They do not know what its actual purpose was, but because there was more than one found,
Wow.
they
There's a
believe
collection.
that it was made of siltstone. So they believe that because it was so definitely penis shaped.
Okay.
It had the head and everything. Like, it was definitely very penis shaped. They believed that that was what it was used for. They weren't able, they're obviously still not able to determine exactly, but they believe that that is what it was used for.
I mean, as a woman, were you to imagine in your own head sex with a penis rock? Does that sound like an attractive thing?
I'm not going to lie to you. I've considered other things. Just
Like a penis rock?
Like,
Like, I feel like a rock is like a...
Okay, but think
it's
about a
probably a step too
cucumber. It's
far.
also not exactly great.
No, sure, but
Wow.
at least the
How
cucumber,
many
if you peel the
people-
cucumber, it's at least a little bit like,
Softish.
self-lubricating.
Yeah.
So it's actually, there's a very interesting book. I think it's called Buzz, The Stimulating History of the Sex Toy.
Okay.
It goes into detail about the history of sex toys and how researchers have found these things, and they found many of these stone tools, which they said could have been used as ritual implements
Right.
to have
Okay.
something to do with a lady's breaking her virginity kind of vibes.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And then they also found that in terms, so like if you go from that age to like later on, there's like artistic depictions of people holding like fake
Oh,
penises and
yeah.
dildos and stuff like that.
Oh.
So people used to worship it. And it's incredible to think that back then they were possibly using these things that, were made out of whatever they could find. And in the ancient Greek times, they used to use bread loaves. They would hollow out
Jeez.
a bread loaf and they would cover it with leather, buff it down
Good
to make
Lord.
buff it down to make it smooth, and that's what they would use to.
I've heard if you carve a hole in a watermelon and then you warm it up slightly in the microwave, that's
I've heard a
sorry.
grapefruit.
I've
is
said too
better.
much. I've said too much.
So
I don't know. I've never heard. I don't know.
This
That's-
bread loaf for the leather, is it for the boys or the girls?
No,
to
for the
use?
ladies. So you would
Seriously?
fill it with cotton and cover it with leather, and then use that as like a homemade dildo. So basically, sex toys have been
Yeah.
around for obviously ages, and females also. So men generally, no offense, guys, have been quite what's the word I'm looking for? Threatened by sex toys, which also explains why in America sex toys were banned for so long.
Oh, yeah.
Because the politicians and the church men were
Yeah,
like,
but
oh
you-
no,
I mean,
know.
I'm not threatened. Your
No.
your sex toy can't argue with you.
there you go.
Your sex toy can't do all the important man things like sit around,
Like change a
and
light
watch
bulb.
TV and
Dishes.
change a light bulb, right?
Wash the
No,
dishes.
but
We're
the minute that
fine.
it can.
Fine.
So yeah, that one I thought was very interesting.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have
yeah.
been around for.
I mean,
many, many years.
28,000 years is a really long time. That's
Very
basically the full extent of human history,
Pretty much.
really. I mean, it's like,
But that's the thing. They found multiple in caves, and not just in Germany. It was sort of all over the place.
I mean, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Not
nice
just
that
in
it's in a
Germany.
cave. Like people used to furtively go into
Yeah.
the cave with their sex rock.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
were
like,
sex rock. They were like, this is
bang
so
away at
What
themselves
are you
with their
doing in
sex
there?
rock.
I'm making fire, Mummy. You naughty, dirty thing, you dirty little German cave boy.